Hey, James, how's it going?
I'm Betty. How you doing?
Betty, how are you? That was very aggressive.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm
No
sorry.
problem. No, you're good.
Okay.
I like your
Hi.
hair. Look like a little mermaid.
Oh,
Ariel.
Ariel.
All right. You don't like that. All right.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
I found a nice little spot over here for us.
Okay.
We can have a picnic. I brought some food, blankets, and everything.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Right.
Doing you. All right. Let's go.
Follow me. Follow me. Don't mind my limp. I got a bad hip.
Oh, I see the water. It's really nice.
All right. This is the spot I was talking about.
So I gotta sit in the grass.
No, I got a blanket and everything right here. All right. Got a speaker and a blanket. All right, I got you. I got you. All right, let's go ahead and break out the food.
Oh, okay.
So
I feel like I'm melting out
is
here.
yikes. It's not that bad.
It is.
The wind is going good.
Barely.
But okay, but I got this though.
Oh.
This might make it better.
Okay.
Chicken and biscuits.
Some chicken and biscuits. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then I also got cherry pie.
Are you sure you made this, or did you order this?
This is all homemade. I made this from scratch.
It looks kind of store-bought.
No, my hands are very well talented.
Huh.
Yes, it's all homemade, all homemade.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we have... I grabbed the wrong container.
Some potatoes.
Taters. Good old taters. I mean, you look amazing. We're here by the water. You look like Ariel, like Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
nose
What's with this
piercing.
Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
What is your fascination with these Disney kids? Oh, has anybody ever told you you look like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons?
Oh, excellence.
Oh, shit.
So what do you think, though? I mean, like, it looks great out here, right?
Yeah, it's okay. It's nice.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Well, I mean, would you like to dive in?
Do we have any? You know what? Hold on, I got something.
Don't be pulling out no weapons on me.
Oh, no.
Okay, all right. All right. You want a leg, thigh, breast, a titty? You want a titty? Chicken?
I'll take a titty. I like titties.
I spent hours on this.
Oh, how many hours exactly? Because, it's not looking very moist. But you did your best. You tried.
I don't like your attitude.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got a little mustache. You got hair on your arms.
And your toes crossed.
My mama said that means strength.
She lied to you.
Your nose ring is ugly.
Your nose is just big.
You know what?
Your glasses
I don't know
fit
why
on-
our friends set us up on this
I
date.
don't know either. Do you need hair plugs?
Hair plugs? Your eyebrows look like caterpillars.
Oh, I'm not feeling this, and I'm not feeling, well, maybe this, because, I do have kids, and I'm pretty
Wait a
sure they
minute.
would like some of these biscuits, if you don't mind.
I didn't know you had kids.
Oh, yes, I got 5.
What the hell?
You got 5 kids.
Yes, and they're hungry.
Wait, that's my chicken.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What do you... Wait a minute.
My kids got to eat, too. I'm sorry.
You got a whole Tupperware?
Oh, yes. I came prepared.
That's why you had that big ass bag.
I have to
I should
come
have known
prepared,
better
sir.
getting
I'm so sorry.
getting purple hair. That's toxic as hell. I should have known better.
Oh, it's toxic.
Yeah, you toxic.
Your bald spots
You
is
talking about look at the
toxic.
time. You ain't got a watch on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta go. I just came.
Yeah,
for
you
food.
sorry, all right.
Matter of fact, can you tell me the name of your barber so that I know where not to take my kids?
Hey.
How's it going?
Oh, hey, Ricky.
Hey, baby. Hey, you ready? Hey,
Oh, yeah,
Hey.
yeah. I'm just.
Some but Ricky
James, come on.
ain't no damn way.
Wrap this up.
Ain't no damn way.
Thank you for the food. But yeah, it's that time. I gotta go.
Y'all done hustled me. Where my phone at? I'm about to call the cops on y'all.
Man, them toes. Ooh.
Whatever. I'm about to enjoy the view.
We are Reckless Dialogue. What's up, peeps? You're back with Reckless Dialogue. Today's episode, we're talking about pros and cons of a relationship and the single life.
Yes, and we have our special guest,
his wife,
Yes.
Nikki, or Betty.
Betty.
Mikki.
All right. All right, so
And-
let's jump into it. So we're gonna start off with the single life.
Yeah, starting with single life. Because we've all been single.
Yes. At
Yeah.
some point in time, we've all been single. We're gonna start with the pros. And I'm more so of the single one. So freedom. And what I mean by that, I can just go home. And that's that.
Yep. I mean, not just that. I mean,
do whatever I
more
wanna
than
do, you know.
Yeah. You do whatever you want, and you have the freedom to make your own choices without another person.
Exactly. And let's elaborate on the freedom part.
Okay.
So
How elaborate do you want to go?
so like, okay, so because you guys are in a relationship, y'all
Consult with each other
yeah,
before.
you consult, but you also like, call and be like, hey, I'm on my way home, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. But we're not talking about the relationships yet. We're talking about
Right.
single.
Yes.
So
Freedom.
elaborating on the freedom part.
Not
Yes, that's
having
elaborating on it.
to consult with somebody before
Right,
you
there we go.
you
Okay.
do anything or go anywhere. You don't have to consult with nobody. You do it. I ain't got nobody to worry about.
Do what I want.
Do what I want.
Yep.
Yep. I'm in charge of me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That freedom part, that's definitely
Fact.
yeah,
Some truth
that's
behind it. I mean,
big truth.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, when you're single,
Yes.
you really don't have another person, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
And okay, so
Ooh.
also like, if you're single, outside of leaving a relationship and becoming single, you have your self growth, self discovery,
Right.
right?
Right. But wait. Let's go back to what you were saying.
Okay.
A person was once in a relationship, and then they're out of the relationship,
Yes. Yeah.
being single again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where that freedom comes in.
We didn't discuss this, but this is that's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
good.
you know how I do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because that person would learn a lot about the relationship, depending
Yeah.
on how the severity of it is, and what they learn from.
Yeah, and that's where the self growth and self discovery comes in.
Yeah.
Because you learn something from that past
Yeah,
relationship,
where you
and
can
that
compare,
yes,
two
then,
different things. Yep.
you're not the same person before you was in that relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just not that person anymore.
Yeah. And then you also start developing new hobbies.
Mhm.
Like,
Yep.
like I started going on hikings and working out a lot more, and
Self maturity.
yeah.
So, do you think that maybe if a person was in a relationship, and depending on um how bad that relationship ended, how that would affect that single person in a negative way?
Without being too personal, like I like
Yeah.
my private life. All right.
Well, I'm just saying,
but no,
speaking
yes,
generally,
it depends on how bad it ended
Yes.
and who ended it and why it ended.
Yeah.
There's just variables.
And
to
is
it.
someone taking accountability
Yes.
in the actions? Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And yeah, that can go for both um, men and women.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. I mean,
I
it's
think-
two parties, so yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely a
Yeah.
both sides thing.
Who do you think in that situation?
Man, all right, let's do it. Go ahead.
Man or woman, who do you think is the one that usually mess up majority of the time? when a relationship
Oh,
ends?
I'm not touching that. uh-uh.
I would say probably the man. The man.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I'm not touching
I'd
that.
have
Yeah.
to agree.
You'd have to agree.
have to agree.
Yeah.
Majority of the times, or okay, I'll say 7 out of 10. It's usually the men.
Yeah, usually the man. All right. Now, we will bring this back up when we're talking about relationship.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
Because now we're going into the next one.
yeah.
You don't have to compromise.
That's right.
When you're single,
Yep.
you don't have to compromise with anybody.
Right.
So that falls under that whole freedom thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, so, I was more single. So whenever I was dating, if I saw something I didn't like, I'd be like, okay, this ain't working for me.
Yep.
And done.
Mhm.
Easy.
Yep.
And then I go back to my home, sleep well.
Yeah.
So that's the whole freedom thing, you know what I mean?
And no,
This is gonna be a good one. The finance part.
yeah.
You don't have to spend as much money.
Financial independence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because obviously when you're in a relationship, you're gonna have to come out of pocket.
Yes.
So when you're single, you're
Yeah.
just like, shit. Just
Well. Majority of the time, that I think most of the spendings come from like the dating aspect,
yes.
going
Yeah.
out on dates,
Yeah.
treating your significant other.
Yeah,
I think
but now we're saying being single with no pursuit of a relationship. Remember?
right.
So like if you're single, it's like you're just going to the bars and you pick up what you
Right.
pick up.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean?
There's more freedom there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can
Exactly. Because you're
I'm
not
gonna
really
go to the
looking for
bar.
relationships. Like it's like whatever. And if it hit, and then you go like on a date or two or something.
Right.
And then you do end up spending a little bit of money, but then that's where it comes back to the not compromising. And then you can be like, no, I'm good. I'm about to
This
become
brings
Casper the
me
friendly
to
ghost.
something funny that I saw one day. The girl was asking her significant other, "What is the most expensive dish you ever ate?" He didn't say any food. He said you. He said you the most expensive thing I ever ate.
We got a tidbit to add from a friend of ours, and they said there's no nagging. you don't have nobody constantly picking at you and like, oh, you forgot to do this, you didn't do that,
Questioning you.
throw the trash out.
Yes, I was going to say that.
Try to see
Half a
that.
minute gone by, and
Yeah,
it's the end of the world.
it's like, dang,
That's not with everyone.
I just sat down.
And that goes back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
Different relationships, different people. It's different. There's probably not a lot of nagging going on in some relationships, but I guess with this person that said it, it was a lot of nagging going on.
Yeah. And then like like, I am. I go home. I just take my clothes off and throw it on the couch sometimes. Like,
Yeah. Nobody can
I
tell
get
you
real
anything.
comfortable. Yeah, relaxed.
Or leave the dishes in the sink.
Yeah.
Worry about it
Sometimes
tomorrow.
I'd be lazy.
Yep.
I'll leave it overnight. I'll do it in the morning.
This is a pro.
What's
Like
that?
pros. You can have multiple friends with the opposite sex.
Okay.
Without repercussions. Yeah, let's cover that.
Yeah.
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 Okay. This goes back to like when we were talking about the first was it the first episode? Yeah. Where can men and women be friends?
When they're married.
No, we didn't know.
just
In general.
In general.
Oh.
In
In
general.
general. Yeah.
That's
So-
a yes.
Yeah, it's 50-50.
We can
But-
elaborate more on that when we get to the relationship part.
Yeah, but in this aspect,
But I mean, when you're single, yes, you can have
Yes.
that with no issue.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you're hanging out with a lady friend and the other lady friend that you have seems to be a little, I guess, more jealous because you're spending more time with the other lady friend and not her.
Mhm.
I mean, there's no commitment there. So
Yes,
I mean,
that's when you nip it in the bud. Be like,
Mhm.
we're not serious, so
yeah, this is
you should
yeah.
not be getting upset.
Right. Right.
Like, you know what it was when I told you.
What it was, what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the part of that single life. You're like, nah, I told you I wasn't looking for nothing.
Loneliness, lack of
Now that's
companionship.
the cons now.
Mhm.
Yes, it can become lonely at times.
Yep.
Yeah. 'Cause you like, you go lay in the bed and you're
Valentine's
like,
Day and
damn,
I'm
I wish I
alone
had that one.
alone
Just
now.
I'm a spooner.
on the
I like spooning and cuddling and stuff. So
so on the cold winter nights.
yeah. I
Get
need
your
something.
Cold
heating pad
outside.
ready.
Yeah, I need something to hold on to. When your family starts asking you, so when are you getting married? When are you gonna settle down?
When?
When are you gonna have some kids?
When?
None of your damn business.
Yes.
Leave
You're single.
me.
You can choose
Choose when
whatever you want to choose.
when the time is right.
Yes.
Yeah. I think
That's
this is good.
The judgment coming
Yeah.
from other people.
So
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think of this like as if I'm speaking to my children when they become older and more understanding of
Okay,
the
you're
world.
coming from a father's
And
standpoint.
yeah.
Okay.
So when they're single, I want them to be like, to keep their head on their shoulders and their minds sharp and don't just jump into any kind of relationship.
Right.
Enjoy the single life.
Mhm.
Yes.
Build
responsibly and respectfully.
yes, and build on yourself.
Don't
Like
commit till you're ready to commit.
exactly until you're ready.
Yes.
But make sure to focus on yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself first
Yeah.
and
Focus on
foremost.
you, and then
And then when you feel like you think you find that one person, you would know it. But until then,
maybe
enjoy. He said maybe.
I'm just saying. Like,
Hey,
No, you
some of
should
them be
know.
trial runs, okay?
Oh, man.
Good. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You may get your heart broken once or twice.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yes, I think we all have
I think
been
we've
through
all
that.
had a few trial runs.
Yeah.
You got to pick yourself up. You got your bros
Especially,
to fall back on, and hopefully, and you got
but-
family. Yeah. So
Enjoy your single life.
Oh yeah.
So when the family
Absolutely.
and friends are like, "Why you don't have a partner? What's going on? You need to seek professional help. Like oh, enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Sometimes you have those pop-up exes.
Mm.
They try to reconnect. Like, oh yeah, no. It's funny because it happens more often than not.
Yeah.
Who do y'all
Either
think?
old exes or old high school crushes.
Who do you think
Come back around.
actually goes back to the ex? Men or women?
Men.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will absolutely reach out first.
Ye-
Yeah.
Men will.
Yeah. If we
because,
know we
because
can,
it's
like,
familiar and it's
and
more comfortable
we will-
than
we'll be like-
someone strange.
we'd be like, you know what? Screw it. And if they answer, yeah, got him.
Got 'em.
Yeah. We throw that hook out there. We're like, they bite. Okay. I know I can finesse my way back in. Type thing.
Mhm.
It sounds bad, but and it is. Here's one. So
Mhm.
under the when you're single and you're dating,
Yeah, single but dating.
you come across the most I'm trying to say this a polite way. Screw it. Sometimes you come across some really crazy people. Like they're just
Mhm.
very unhinged.
Yeah.
And no offense to anybody or whatever, but once you start telling me you're feeling a certain way because Venus is in retrograde with Mercury. I'm like, wait, what? You know what I mean? That's a major red flag.
Or even the silent crazies where you don't find out until later.
True. True. Yeah. And
Mhm.
that's one of my toxic things. Even though I avoid it, I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, this seems like a fun ride. Let's go.
It seems like a fun ride. You know what it feels like? The scam callers. But you don't know if it's a scam. You're like, okay, I think I do need to take care of this, but wait, this don't seem right. And then it just, yeah. Then you realize like, oh, they're trying to screw me.
Don't let them play with me 'cause I play off.
It's a
So,
scam.
so what was one of your worst experiences being single while like trying to date somebody?
Date? Okay, I was about to say,
While
like,
trying
hold
While
on.
trying to
I know
date.
y'all are married now and
Yeah.
everything, but like what do you
Mm.
that you can,
We're getting
that you
personal.
can
I used to get
remember. Yeah.
annoyed when I would be walking somewhere. Like, I'd walk into the corner store or something, and some guy would come up to you randomly, just start grabbing you. Hey, I like you. Like, okay,
fuck.
excuse. Oh, my bad.
You got shot.
I'm like, oops.
Fell out the chair. Like, you get-
But yeah, like guys would just randomly come up to you, just grab
Yeah,
you.
that's
Like, oh,
that's
you
no-go.
gonna be
Yeah.
mine? Like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Like, damn, can you introduce yourself?
That's-
It's like, hey, how you doing?
And I'll be the first to say,
Yeah.
yeah, some dudes
Very
definitely
aggressive
needs to
with
be
it,
like put in their place
Yeah.
when they
Need
do
to be
stuff
checked.
like that. Yeah.
and then
absolutely.
get butt hurt when you turn them down.
Yeah. You got to take rejection.
No.
Yeah.
We were talking about like dating people,
Yes.
right?
Dating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you dated somebody and like what was like something that happened, or you know, it doesn't have to be too personal.
I
was
think I
like,
remember one.
oh,
I
no.
was. Let me see. Should I get personal? I
Like,
know I had
no
to do
names,
like
no names.
I had to run away.
No names.
I
remember the story. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I had to
yeah.
run. I jumped fences and everything. Baby daddy
Why'd
came
you
home
have
and
to
I'm
run?
like, what?
Oh.
I didn't know. I didn't know. I was like, what? I was like, anyways,
You had to
it was
jump
terrifying. Yeah, I had to.
fences.
Yeah, I had to get out of there. Yeah. You can probably leave that out of there.
That's when you
Didn't
was
know.
younger. You was
Oh,
able
that
to
was
jump fences.
yeah.
Huh? I like to see jump one now.
Oh no. Yeah, that was some years ago. Oh man. You know,
Well, I'm glad you're still here with us.
oof. Yeah, that's almost
Well,
20 years
you know,
ago.
we grew up in the era where, you know, dating, you had to call after a certain time, or, you know,
Like
you had to use
my
your
minutes ain't
friends.
free right now.
You have your friend call for you. See, I've been married, you know, in a relationship since 20. So before that, you know, was domestic violence. And then before that was, you know, trying to date at the times where cell phones weren't really around like that.
Yeah.
So I'd have my friend have my boyfriend call for me, or have my boyfriend have a friend call for me instead
Okay.
of him calling.
Yeah, I want to get the female part of it because y'all be doing some real sly, slick shit. Like,
Don't
go
let me tell his secrets.
hey, absolutely. What do you mean? This is what we're here for. Yeah, I want to hear it. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, but yep, I had my boyfriend have one of my friends call and ask for me first.
Yeah.
And then I would be able to get on the phone with him, or I'd have my friend ask my mom if I could go somewhere particular to meet up with my boyfriend.
So yeah, we'll be watching our daughter. Yeah, I got my eye on.
She knows she
Oh
got some
no,
crazy uncles.
she.
Yeah.
Don't play that.
Mm-mm.
See, I didn't have, you know,
Yeah, you didn't have that.
eyes on me like that.
Okay.
You know, so I've been on my own since I was 16. So I you know, even after, dating in high school while I was around my mother, yes, I'd have
So
friends
you
call.
had a crazy boyfriend
Yes, I did.
before. Yeah.
Yes.
You had to go into detail.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you had to get away from that.
Oh yeah.
There's major red flags.
Oh yes.
Like
Oh
that's
yes.
what the meeting people is like, oh damn. And you find out, oh, you crazy.
You don't really find out a person's true character until you want to say about a good 2 years of knowing that
No,
person.
sometimes
Sometimes,
it's soon.
it could be
yes,
real
sometimes
soon,
it can be real soon.
yeah.
But the majority of the times when you're dating and getting to know a person, you don't find out that true person until you really start living with them, or
Yeah.
you've really
Right.
been with them
Right.
for a long period of time and you get to see their true character.
Now I would say this coming from
I mean, because y'all been together since y'all were younger.
Mm-hmm.
dating when you're older is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I need to come see what your place looks like.
What your cleaning habits like.
I'm big on hygiene. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you
Yeah.
brush your teeth in the morning?
Yes,
Do you
please.
brush them before you
And
go
chew
to
some
bed?
gum during the day or something. I don't know, but yeah. But
Do
that's
you do
definitely
smell
a thing.
checks?
You do go see each other's places. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's why my place is nice and put
And
together.
then, and then you got to be cautious too. Like you said, exes. Some crazy exes out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you don't
Like,
see
damn,
them,
you still
you don't
like
hear
me?
about them.
Shit.
And then, no. I'm saying,
Yeah, I know.
you're
But I'm
talking
saying-
to,
Yeah.
you're dating,
Yeah.
and you getting to know that person, and then you check out their house, it's clean, everything's all fine and dandy.
Yeah.
But then she has a crazy ex.
Oh, her crazy. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey,
But you don't know
tread
until
lightly,
Stalker
'cause-
tendencies.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, oh,
We got a good example of that one.
what? Well, not well. That's I don't know what you're talking about, but it's
No, do elaborate.
Patio.
Patty. You talking about with someone that you knew?
Mhm.
Oh no? Yeah,
Oh.
we're gonna leave that one alone.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave that one
Wanna know
alone.
this person?
Stalkers.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll leave that one alone.
the one with the crystals?
No.
No?
No.
Come on.
Okay, you see?
He's the
So he's about to go down the list. I'm not sharing any information with you ever again.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
He's about to go down the list. All your friends is going to start calling. Yo. Oh, that's funny.
Developing trust is big because I'm not gonna lie. I do. I got trust issues
Yeah.
because of certain people I've come across.
Yeah. I trust in God.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And I gotta make sure.
I love you, honey, to a certain extent. I love you. I trust in God.
You know, you gotta
Trust-
get home together. Right?
Yeah, I know. Trust is a big.
Hey,
People
it's
take
very-
that word so lightly.
So are you saying you don't trust your
I
wife?
trust you. Yes. Yes. But I trust in God, just like a single person should. Because when a single person put a lot of trust in a person, and they need to be wary of it. They need to be cautious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why so like, you want to find out what their values and their morals are.
Yep.
And, not to be like intrusive into their past or nothing like that, but you don't want to find out like, okay, are you good with your family? Like,
Mhm.
things like that.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yep.
do. I'm like, okay, you don't have to be cool with all your family, but like, okay, like, because I do come from a big family. We do come from a big family.
Right.
So that's like important to me, family values and everything like that.
Do you think majority of the single people out there are like that?
No.
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 And do you think
Especially
that,
now, yeah.
they're
get
just
kind of
Especially
phony.
nowadays.
they don't
no.
even they
Yeah.
just trust anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just invite this person over to be on Snapchat and send locations and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah. And even with that, like I've been hit up by married women on Snapchat. It's like, yeah, I definitely have trust issues. I'm like,
Okay. All right. Men,
just saying when I was single.
men out there, if you're in Texas, you cannot go through your significant other's phone.
Vice
Yep.
versa.
And vice versa, yeah.
You will be
So,
arrested.
wow. Wow. See, yeah. So trust is actually bigger than what people think.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
If I trust
Yeah.
you, I respect you.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's earned. Not just it's not given.
I'll give a little bit
A little, yeah,
just because,
because when
I
you
am who I
first meet
am.
someone,
I'm not going to
you gotta
disrespect
keep
you
it
or whatever. But
respectful until it gets disrespectful.
if I start seeing some things that don't line up,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, absolutely. I'm like, hey, I'll question it. And I think it brings us to like the maturity part, like
Mm-hmm.
because I started dating, recently again, you know, at my age. So like, yeah, I'm gonna ask you questions, not to be intrusive or anything. I just need to find out more about you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot to cover about trusting, putting trust
Yeah,
in someone. But I
and
think
then
it's
also you got to find out they got kids and stuff like that, and the baby daddy that kind of brings it back to psycho X or
yeah.
yeah. So that's
But
definitely like a
but
thing for like
but
in my case.
so again, going back, these are cons of being single,
Yeah.
but dating.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you're pursuing a
These are
relationship.
the issues that a single person might
Deal with.
deal. Yes.
And one thing I do want to say, social media has made it very easy to get to know a person before you actually do get to know a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all you gotta do is like, okay, if I meet you, such and such, all I gotta do is Google your name and it'll pop right up, and I'll be like, okay, I can see everything on his story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe you got some crazy, people are able to do their research now on a person,
Yep.
before dating that person. So sometimes with social media being a factor, yeah, it's easier to get to know a person versus back then where there was no social media or just MySpace at that
And that's also why I don't put too much personal stuff on
Mhm.
social media because it's like, okay, that's just social media. It's not a real
Right.
place.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just, you
But
see
you see a
family
lot of
things
people are
and
very personal
Yeah.
on
They
theirs.
get real personal and
So,
yeah,
put
they do.
every
Yeah.
single thing out there. Yeah.
mhm.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, I'm reckless, but I ain't that reckless. I'm reckless on here.
Well, because back then you wouldn't have thought like, okay, this person could just look me up and
I am so glad MySpace does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
all the
I mean, it's still
videos.
it exists.
They would have had a field day
But
with mine.
the way it existed back then is not existing today.
Yep, it's a big
Yeah.
difference in dating now. Big difference. Cause that's why people move. You've cut the dating in half now. Because you see people are very quick to get married within 6 months of dating each other versus, what took us 4 years. We were getting to know each other because we didn't have those social media platforms and, you know, during the courting of one another, not having the cell phones like that. So,
I would
coming to see
say
each
it's
other and
the other way.
Hmm?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I mean, coming from my position, my standpoint, because I am older, you know, y'all met when I was younger, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
it happened like that.
Right.
But being older now and in the dating scene,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah, um,
Social
damn,
media plays a big
it's
part.
going good, it's going good.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, let's slow down a little bit. Let's slow
Mhm.
down. We having fun, but yeah, you definitely start. That's where the maturity part comes in. You
Mhm.
start thinking, okay, like we're still moving in a good direction. But yeah, let's slow down a little bit. You know, well, at least that's
No,
how I am.
that's yeah. But and I was gonna say that, because sometimes you'll see older people very quick to get married too,
Yeah,
because they're like, okay, I ain't
Time
got
is
time
running
to
out.
waste.
yeah. They're
You know,
you want
my
to have
clock is
babies?
ticking, like, or they want to marry somebody younger,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they're quick to get married. Like, oh, I want her. Like, I
Yes,
want you to
yeah.
marry me, like ASAP.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially like
Excuse me.
dude, it's most of the times it's the guy dating younger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then she's gonna be like, you gotta put a ring on his finger, and most of the time he's gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the next one we called it critical thinking, non-biased topic for singles. So the one that we had was what are the things that could possibly change one's mind to pursue a relationship?
After saying they want to stay single.
After wait.
Well, it
But these
depends.
are
Okay,
these are
so
possibilities that could change one's mind.
there's people who want to stay single,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
so they're not pursuing anything. I was single until I did want to start pursuing
Right.
somebody.
So what was that change that made that person made you want
I got to know her very well.
to? Right. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. You've what did I say? You oh, it's right here, the next line. You find a good person without looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. Was
Yep.
not looking for it at all.
Yeah. Not looking for it yet.
It's just
That's when it
kind of sparked up, and yeah,
Yep. Yep. Same here.
yeah. But that's when it's just genuine, organic, authentic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, you just kind of just click.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know,
Yep. And
you start going with the
that
flow.
you
And
don't get
all of a sudden, it's like, damn, I done caught feelings.
Yep. I think that's rare too.
And in a good
Yes.
way too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. And it's rare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's rare. Potential for missed opportunities.
Elaborate.
Is anybody from your past worth taking a chance again?
No.
Maybe.
That's yeah. In most cases, that's the way it is. It's
Yeah. No.
the past is the
Mhm.
past, and it's there for a
Yeah.
reason.
And that's for a
Hey,
reason.
there's people who have
Absolutely.
been married
But I
before
think
and
Well, that's true. That's
divorced
true.
and
No,
gotten remarried.
You're absolutely
yeah,
right.
right.
So
But in most cases, with single people,
Well, like, I would say,
potential.
same with
I
singles.
would say this: if it was like a serious relationship and it got
Mm-hmm.
broken off,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the reason going back. But if it was like, let's say, like, okay, you dated back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
but it never got to that serious point,
Right.
then yeah,
And
I'd rekindle that part of it.
okay.
And
And
then
that
see
goes
where it
back
goes,
to
you know?
saying, like, okay, what made me stop talking to this person? And was that really a good enough reason to stop talking to
Yeah.
that person? And what brought them back to reconnect? So,
I don't think that
yes,
happens a lot.
Okay.
Though.
Okay. No. Yeah.
yeah, it does happen
Yeah.
a lot.
So,
It happens more than you think.
it's okay. A scenario.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up messing with one of your friends.
Mm.
That's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's a deal breaker
All
for
right.
me.
Now, what if they you found out that they had kids, but they didn't tell you?
That would probably be a deal breaker because if you're hiding that,
What else are you?
what
hiding?
else are
But
you
they were
hiding?
waiting for the right opportunity to tell you.
When would be the right opportunity?
So you like, no,
No.
done.
No.
Okay.
No. If you could
All right.
lie about your kids,
Well,
you could
no,
lie
no, no,
about
no.
anything
They didn't
else.
lie. But
Or
what
if
if
you
what if they
can-
said that you didn't ask?
That's like okay, but
because
you know what?
sometimes
They
Okay,
just
I'll
left
put
out.
it.
They just
I'll
left
put
out
it
that
in a
information.
different. I'll put it in a different scenario.
Okay.
Say, for instance, you wanted to wait till the right time to tell somebody you had an STD. You get what I'm saying?
no.
Jesus.
I'm saying, like, you know,
That falls under trust. Yeah. Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
right.
Yo.
So it's
No,
like,
But no,
okay,
you for real. No,
I'm for real.
You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. You're right. You definitely have to like, find out. Yeah, that's a major thing with me.
Like, if you're dating somebody, why hold back
I don't do
in
that.
telling that person
Yeah.
while you're getting to know them that you have that you have kids? Why not
Yeah.
tell them?
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
that's a valid point. Yep.
Yes.
All right. And then the next one, this will wrap it up for being single. There's a lot of contradictions out there. Meaning like a person could be unhappy in a relationship and be unhappy being single.
Mm-hmm.
And that is out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. My last relationship, not gonna go into detail, but she did say she wasn't happy, and I was like, okay, and I did everything I could, like, to try to fill whatever was, but I think
Whatever
that
void.
came down to us not being mature enough to understand our love languages.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Hey, but even in a long-term marriage, you still learning one another.
Yes,
too.
and I've told
Right,
a lot of
yes.
young people that
Yeah.
that
You
were getting
still
married. They're
learning.
like, "What could you tell us newlywed people?" And I'm like, "Look, doesn't matter how many years you've been
Mm-hmm.
married, you're still learning.
learning one another.
You're still learning how
Because
to."
every few years, your mental is going through different changes.
Yeah.
You know, your maturity is going through different
Yes.
changes.
Yeah.
So you know, at one thing that you seen one way, later on you see a different way.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, okay, that's self growth, self maturity. You
Yes.
know, and it's better to have that going into a relationship already than learning it in a relationship.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Covering pros for being in a relationship. A friend of ours, a really good friend, family, told us a wellness check if you pass away.
Or if you just don't answer your phone enough or on time, they're gonna be like, "Are you okay?"
Mm-hmm.
Start calling everybody in your family.
It might seem like it's nagging, but it's
no,
all
which
love.
is
It's all love.
and yeah, absolutely.
You feel like you being checked up on.
Yeah, but it's all love.
Why you watching me?
And then the family friend, of course, again, he said, "Get to laugh at your spouse's joke, even though it's not funny."
Sometimes
Yes.
I think sometimes I think my girl just be laughing at my stuff because I'm like,
That wasn't funny.
that wasn't even funny.
There's a lot of dad jokes going around. But sometimes they're funny though.
Yeah. I'm a funny person though, so at least
Oh,
I think I
man.
am.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if you're in a good relationship, everything could be funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What I find refreshing and important being back in a relationship,
Hmm.
yeah, because I was single for like 9 years, is the whole support. I could call her, talk about stuff,
Yeah.
vent to her, and she'd be like, "Oh, no, it's cool, don't sweat it, da da da." And we
Encouragement.
we
Yeah.
both give each other advice, and yeah, get that whole support system. Like,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
you got my back, I got your back.
Yep. And that's one of them, companionship and support.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I put on here checks and balance. You was like, man, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Elaborate.
good that okay, like we were talking about with a single person, there's not another person there where that person can compromise on
Financial
things.
independence.
But with two people, y'all on a mature level can come to some agreement. And it's good to have that because being single, sometimes you make poor decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it's good
Yes.
to have that significant other. Y'all could talk about it and brainstorm, pull out the positive of things and then the negative of
Yeah.
things, and then go from there. And that's what I mean by checks and balance.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Yeah, because yeah,
Check off.
my woman is a lot smarter than me, so I'll be asking the questions.
That's good.
Like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
She's the brains of the outfit.
Shared experience and goals. So, yes.
Yeah, and then
The-
y'all both have different things to like add to the relationship.
Mhm.
You know, you both have your different interests.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, like me, I like to go out and do like adventurous things.
Yeah.
And I noticed she likes to do that too now.
Yep.
And it's a good thing when you have a significant other who compliments you, in personality wise, physical, everything.
Yes.
I will say yes.
Yeah.
Marriage is definitely a give and take thing.
Yep.
So, it's not for the weak.
And that goes along with, like you said, intimacies and connections.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Increased health and well-being. I think you pulled that up.
Yes, I
You-
did. It said that 8 out of 10 married people are more healthier and their lifespan is longer than a single person.
One person being single.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got your spouse that helps take care of you as well.
Yeah,
You
Yep.
she's gonna be like, did
take
you
care
eat?
of yeah.
What did you
She
eat?
feeds
Did you-
you. She
Did you take your
cook for
medication?
you.
Yeah,
She
you take your
massages
medication,
you.
And it's
And-
not
and-
nagging. It's just
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep. And that goes down to the next one, shared responsibilities. Of course, just like a roommate, um,
Household
you-
chores.
yeah,
Look after each
household
other.
chores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cooking.
Cooking. Yep.
Yep.
Tending to the kids.
Washing. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Mhm.
And being
The finance
mature
part.
enough.
If you're living together, taking care of the bills together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving to cons, which I don't feel like it should be called cons because it's
It's not really con, but it's
Yeah, I
the things you
mean,
have to deal with.
it's marriage.
Yeah.
It's
Every marriage is not perfect.
it's
You're
not.
gonna have
There's
your flaws.
challenges.
It's how
Yeah.
you
Challenges. I like
Yeah.
right. You're gonna
That's what I
have
was saying. Not really
your
cons.
your ups and downs, and it's
Yeah.
how you work through 'em. A lot of people are like, "Oh, we could do counseling or start dating each other when you're married instead of just dating
Yeah.
each other when you're courting each other." It's good to date while you're married
Yeah. Having
Yeah.
because
set
it
date
helps
nights.
find that
Yes.
connection that brought you together. So that's one thing that I say to a lot of people on how does your marriage last as long as it does.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to, go back and think, what brought me to this person? What made me fall head over heels for this person? There's a reason I'm with this person
Yeah.
and why I married this
Yeah. You
person.
can't forget what brought y'all
Right.
together.
You can't forget what brings y'all together. So it's like,
Yes.
and it's sad to see in this day and age, a lot of marriages don't last because you're so quick to give up
Mm.
instead of remembering, okay, this is what brought me to this person. This is the reason why I did say I do. I don't want to say I do to this person, that person, this person, that person, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes that does happen. But again, it's how you work through it. Whether your communication is good or whether what is it that you're bickering about? Like,
Yeah.
do y'all do tit for tat with each other and maybe just need some space? It's okay to take breaks. But as long
Yeah.
as you find what helps bring y'all back to that point.
You know what I think also causes I guess a hindrance or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
When you take your information outside of the relationship to other people, and they start to give advice that you take back into the relationship, then it becomes a bigger issue because that's no longer your thoughts anymore.
Right.
You added in third person, third
Right.
party,
They planted the seed.
And that's why
and
it's good to have a
didn't have
mediator
a
when you go through
discussion
things. Instead of
between
just
each other.
listening to this person, that
Yeah.
person, have a professional mediator to help, you know,
Yep.
counsel.
I'm big on communicating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like gray areas.
Yeah.
Like, I need to know, like, okay,
Yeah, I'm very upfront with
I'm
my
not gonna
feelings.
stress you. I'm not gonna stress you. I'm not gonna press you. You can do whatever you want.
Yep.
But yeah, I gotta. Okay, we good, good. All right.
I'm very
Good night, babe.
straightforward. If something bothers me, I'm gonna let you know right then and there. Hey, this is bothering me. We need to work on this. Like, what's up?
And it has
Yep.
to be a reasonable thing as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like
All right.
sometimes you're still learning each other's love languages.
Yes.
Yep. And like you said, it changes every
Mhm.
few years. So we've had a friend of ours, family friend. I find him as a comedian.
Wait,
He
which
gave
one you
us
looking
some sharing beds.
I know. Like I'm a big, very physical touch person. I gotta touch you. Yeah.
He said, "Then you're not the only one snoring in bed."
Yeah, I'll wait for the person to fall asleep before you fall asleep.
One of these days, I hope to have him on the show.
Mm.
And yeah, he's hilarious.
Oh,
Buy some earplugs.
That would be an epic show.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Jesus. He gonna get us canceled.
Yeah.
Hey, it's
We're gonna
reckless
be like,
dialogue.
all right,
You
we
gotta
got-
be reckless.
we're gonna-
Gotta be reckless.
Yeah, we're gonna be like, all right, we gotta edit that. We're gonna have to bleep
Yeah,
that
cut
out.
that. Yeah, bleep it out. Cut it out. Gotta cut it.
Please stand by.
But yeah, I don't want to cover any cons or anything. I just feel like
Yeah.
there's challenges, that you gotta overcome.
Yeah.
But I won't say cons. Once you start saying there's cons, then a person started putting a list together and all that, and
Yeah.
it's like, okay, it sounds like you don't want to be married. But I would just
But
say
sometimes
challenges.
you got to do evaluations in relationships. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's when
what's
it
the
becomes
pros
very
and what's
severe,
the
you know,
cons
like-
of dating this person before I
Let
do
y'all
get
do
to
this.
that point of marriage,
Yeah.
which is cool.
What about I saw that up there, taking things personal.
Yeah, taking things personal. I don't know.
Whenever you do approach each other about some differences or concerns,
Yeah.
Being told
not
you're being
taking
too
it
sensitive.
too personal or something like that.
Mm. I mean, being an adult and mature in the relationship, the person have to listen
Mhm.
and
And not be dismissive.
yeah, and
Comprehensive.
yes,
Understanding.
and compromise.
Yes,
Make it
You're
work.
definitely gonna have to compromise something.
Yeah, make it work. So those are I don't know why that's in there.
Oh,
Taking things personal.
not necessarily compromise, but come to an agreement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Might have been poor choice of words, but taking things personal, you can't do that. You married.
Yeah. And then if a guy take it personal, she's gonna be like, "Oh, you weak ass motherfucker."
Why you so sensitive?
Yeah, there's women out there that's like that.
Yeah,
Yep,
absolutely,
yep.
yeah.
They will
Uh-huh.
cancel your feelings, cancel a man's feeling. And but
Hey, men cancel women's feelings too. It
no,
goes both
but
ways.
no. Majority of the time, though, a man cares for the woman's feelings.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yes.
Well, I can't speak for them dudes, but I can speak for myself. And like,
Yeah,
I
but
absolutely
I want to believe majority
I
of the
do
men
take-
do.
and like how she does feel.
Yeah.
Now, if it's like something silly, I will let her know. Like, really?
So say for
That's
instance,
what
if
we're
she
upset
comes
about?
crying to you about something, right?
What's the something? Yeah, I communicate. What's the
Something
something?
about how she feels.
But what's the something? That's variable. You got to tell me what it is.
Let's say,
Because we
okay,
could talk about it. I could tell her, okay, look,
if she
I
tells
didn't mean
you
it
she
that
feels
way.
like you're being rude or mean to her,
Okay, you got to.
and you come
So
back with,
give
"Oh, you're
me
being
a
sensitive,"
scenario.
guess talking in a
Condescending.
condescending or aggressive tone, and
Oh,
she's telling you, "I feel like you're being rude and mean." Like, can you calm that down a little bit or change how your approach is with how you're talking to me?
I don't see the problem in that. That's a valid uh reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, that's a valid reason.
And
And I don't speak like that, so like I can't really like defend that. You know, like yeah,
There's some
yeah.
crazies out there.
yeah, but I think going back to what we were saying, I think men care about the women's feelings than
Empathetic.
women. You mean empathy?
Mm-hmm.
Um, more than women care for the feelings of their men.
I'm sorry. I don't agree only
Okay.
because I will say this, on a personal level. The reason why
Which is
I say
okay.
that is because
It's okay.
not only him courting me, I courted him as well. So I would do certain
Mhm.
things for him,
Right.
that would be over the top that I would not do for somebody
Yeah,
else.
you're more romantic than he is.
Right.
Mhm.
So, and then having to learn the thought process that no, he may not be as romantic or as how you put it, um
Romantic.
because it comes down to courting.
Yeah,
Like
romantic.
emotional.
Romantic. Taking the
Like when I used to
initiative.
come and do your pedicures.
Okay. Now she
Cook
don't
for
touch you. She's
you.
like,
So,
oh my
so
God.
you feel
What is
like
that?
your
You messed with it
actions
before.
are greater than his actions.
No. Feeling like sometimes a woman puts forth more effort than a man does sometimes.
Okay. That's something different.
Okay.
That's something
Your
different.
turn.
No,
No,
dating or
I
relationship
no, that's not
wise.
what I'm talking about, though.
What are you talking
Let's
about?
continue
I know.
this.
Yeah. No, I get that. I feel that.
Okay.
No, you're right. Okay, but what I was talking about is feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, that's
Sometimes a woman feels like she puts forth more the effort than a man does.
Y'all don't
yes.
care about our
Okay,
feelings.
there
We
we
do
go.
care about
There we go.
y'all's
Because I didn't hear
feelings.
that. Like no,
We do.
It was
No.
that
You
that
were
didn't
talking about
correlate, right?
actions of like things to do and stuff like that.
No,
No,
okay.
you never once said like, okay, I saw him feeling
If the
sad one
man
day,
is like,
so I was like, I'm gonna
if
go
I'm
give him a
crying in the
BJ or
corner and
something.
I'm
I
like,
don't know.
Of course.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
of course. Because when I come to you and I say, babe, it looks like you had a hard day at work. Come here, let me hug you. I don't want me hug right now. You're like, goddamn, okay.
but I do tell you what I want at that moment, at that time. Anyways,
Which
we're
is?
not gonna no.
Which is?
Which is? Go ahead.
It's a few things. It's kind of contradicting, so I'm gonna leave it alone.
It's okay. We in the safe zone.
No, you
We
and I
in the
know.
safe zone.
You and I know. You just leave it at that. Moving on.
Some oral comforting.
You know, it's yeah. Moving on. Okay, so
yeah, that'll make y'all feel uncomfortable a little bit. Yes, I'm doing my job.
I don't know why that's on there.
Okay.
Shared expenses as cons. I guess if
Medical bills, credit card bills. Like my wife maxed out my credit card. I got paid.
Okay, yeah,
to
yeah.
get the nails done and the
Yeah.
hair done.
Yeah.
Okay, that's something different.
see
Shared
that, yeah.
expenses.
Like, oh, what did you buy today? Come on.
Guy walk in, hide in the bags. You done brought something in here. I hear it.
Excuse me.
Yeah, like if you had like
My bad.
shared account, bank account type thing,
Mhm.
I can see that being something.
So yeah,
But our shared account
expenses.
is actually pretty good.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, we
But you
Take
know,
care
some
of
people
that.
have like issues, and you know,
yeah
that could be one of
Yeah.
those things.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I don't have that issue.
We're good. yeah, we don't have that issue. We're good. We talk
good.
about a lot of the spendings and like, okay,
Yeah.
we communicate very well on that.
If I did though, I'd be like, wait a minute. Why? We don't need this.
All right. Moving to was there anything else in cons that you wanted to cover?
In relationships?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second.
Bathroom.
Yes.
Bathroom.
okay.
Sharing the bathroom.
That's almost like shared responsibilities.
Yeah,
But
but we're gonna
Oh.
bring that up because y'all be acting like we the dirtiest people ever.
I
then
think
Your side
I
of
do
the
think,
sink be covered in makeup and all types of eyelashes and
okay,
stuff.
but that's part of the bathroom. But as far as like the
Toilet.
bathtub and the toilet and all that,
Uh-huh.
I think that is the man's responsibility to keep that clean.
I'm clean.
Yes.
Yeah.
I clean up at the bathtubs.
yes,
I
I'm talking
say-
about the sink.
You
And-
go
but,
to the.
but when you have
Let me
kids,
tell you.
and then-
when you have kids,
Yeah, we
it's
Right,
talking about
different
relationship.
story.
We ain't talking about kids. Look, and then I go in there to go get in the shower, and you
That's-
been washing your hair. You want to put a whole hairball on the friggin' wall,
Yeah.
and I walk in there like,
It's like the Grudge.
No, try this
where
way.
am I?
Now, when you first start dating somebody, right? And you're getting to know their habits, right?
Wow.
Or you're learning their habits.
Yes.
One of my biggest pet peeves when we were dating was I would wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. And I'd fall in the toilet because you didn't put the toilet seat down. And I'm like,
I did that. I don't remember that.
Why didn't you look?
I didn't.
If I'm half asleep, I ain't looking.
I don't remember that.
If I am half asleep, I am not looking.
So how many times does this happen?
No, but
It stopped after we got married.
no. The thing is that I go in there and
I was about to
and-
start messing with you. I'm like, you ain't learn from the first time?
So hold on. So I, especially in the middle of the night, I get up, go to the restroom. I sit. I don't stand up. Do you sit or stand up? Like,
I'm gonna let you make it. I'm gonna let you make it.
no.
I'm gonna let you make it, baby
I'm just
girl.
saying, it's your own seat.
Alright.
You're in your own home.
Yep.
So
you
sit,
can't tell me you haven't.
So you sit down to pee?
Yeah, sometimes I do. Just,
At
Yeah.
home.
and then I let
I do this.
I let out the fart. Oh god!
I more so do this.
I mean, I got
Grab the wall, like,
Okay, that's when I'm drunk. That's not drunk. That's when I have
I
had a
don't-
few drinks.
I'm
and I'm
sorry,
like,
I cannot agree with you
oh,
on this one. I do
Yeah,
not sit
but
down to
that's
pee.
always been a pet peeve of a woman's. It was having to tell her man, put the toilet seat down, please.
I do have a habit of, like, after I use it, I do have to shut it.
Hey, some
But that's like a
people aren't built like
hygiene
you. Some
thing
people,
for me,
Some people
like-
do different.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But especially if you waking up in the middle of the night, you ain't paying attention either. So
critical thinking, non-biased topics. I think again, contradictions. Unhappy in a relationship and unhappy being single. I think individuals like that need to seek some kind of help,
Mm-hmm.
some kind of therapy or counseling,
Don't wait
because
till the last minute to tell that person you're unhappy. It's better
yeah,
to
but
communicate that while you have the chance to
regardless,
work
being
on it.
single or in a relationship, you should be everybody
Happy within
should be
yourself.
happy. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
have that right. Everybody have that should have that in their life to be happy.
So I would say this because I am going from single now in a relationship.
hmm
I do feel like communicating and understanding each other is very big, and setting the boundaries beforehand, because it
Yeah.
it
Yep.
could spark and you could have fun, and like things
Mm-hmm.
will get to a certain point and you're like, oh shit, how did
hmm
we get here?
Yep.
Yep.
So that's why I'm very big on communicating. I'm like, okay, all right, so are you okay with this? You good? All right.
Yeah.
We can move on and keep
And
going.
sometimes it's not that simple either.
Yes,
Hey,
but
but that
sometimes
communication
people
got to be
bottle
heard and not through one
bottle
ear and
things
not the
in.
yeah, no,
other.
don't bottle nothing with me.
Mhm.
I know,
No,
but sometimes
you gotta
you
talk to
gotta.
me. That's what I'm saying. Is like, well, I'm fresh in a relationship, so I do make that clear with her. Like, okay, I need to know what your boundaries are. Like, what are you cool with? What are you not cool
Right.
with?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so I make sure I stay on your good side
Mhm.
Yeah.
because I like to get my feels in.
Okay. Is it a deal breaker if you're not feeling appreciated by your partner? Has the partner taken steps to fix the issues?
We wrapping this up.
Yeah, that's yeah,
That's the last part.
yeah. There's that one, and then understanding the partner's love language and taking effort to fulfill it. You mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what
As
are
long
the
as it's reasonable. That's
yeah?
where the boundaries part come in. Like, you tell me some crazy stuff. You want me to buy you a $50,000 car and something like that, and that's your love language. I'm be like, okay, well, this is not gonna work out.
Yeah, somebody had told me their love language, the way that they showed their love language was by buying a person stuff or paying for certain things.
Yeah,
And
gifting.
yeah, and I'm like, no, if you want
But everybody's different. Some
honesty
people really do
and
like getting gifts. Like, it doesn't have to
yeah,
be a lavish gift, but
right.
yeah.
But if you're telling a person that, of course, that gives open opportunity for that person to take advantage of you.
Right. Yes.
So it's like, okay, no, the way you show love is not materialistic. You know, it's
What's your love language?
It's a balance.
my
Let's-
love
let's-
language is
let's go with that.
affection and communication. I'm very open and honest about how I feel,
Very.
and I communicate.
I feel like that was a little jab.
No. I'm agreeing.
I communicate it very well.
Mhm.
So, and I will communicate it on multiple occasions if I feel like it's going through one ear and out the other. If I feel like I'm not being heard, then we have an issue.
Sounds like you're
But
nagging.
no, that's
Oh,
not
I'm messing-
nagging.
I'm messing.
That's not nagging.
That-
That is not.
So, and with the affection that you like to receive, yeah,
Mhm.
I agree with that
So,
too.
what would you say your love language is?
Me,
Yeah.
peace and
Work.
love. No, work is what I have to do.
Have
Work.
you ever
Work is
took like
what
one
I
of
have
those
to do.
love language
No,
tests? Yeah.
no.
That's
You
you take
should
one last
take
time.
I'll
One
take
time.
it. You know what? I'll take it and I'll share it with everyone.
Yeah, we can add it
To
to
the
the video later.
audience. Yeah.
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 Mine's is quality time, physical touch,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
bonding. Quality time.
I'll look into it. So, thank you for being on the show.
Oh, of course. It
yes.
was lovely. It was lovely.
That's
We had a
great.
good time
Getting,
today.
that point from a marriage couple,
Mhm.
that's definitely
I think
refreshing.
one of the next episodes should be married couples. With
Two
married
married
couples.
couples.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, I'm out of that.
We'll have to do some
Married
brainstorming.
couples,
and-
married couple
All of this
versus
is
a
gonna be
dating
loud.
couple.
okay, well,
I think that would be a good one.
we'll
it's close out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll look into that. Yeah. So any last minute, last a few words to close it out.
No, we did enough. We're just gonna sign out.
We are blessed and highly favored.
Hold on, let me see.
God bless you all. Stay safe in this beautiful world.
Yeah.
You are just so sweet. You're just a
I
bundle
am.
of joy.
All right. Until next time.
But this
Enjoy.
this closes out our single and relationship pros and cons. Hope whatever we discussed helps you with if you're single or in a relationship.
We are Reckless Dialogue.
Reckless dialogue.
Dialogue.